And with that, welcome back to the Nexus Gaming Series. I am Bahamut, your caster. On the left, we have Disbanded, and on the right, we have Modo Miracle. This is Division C Western matchup. How is everyone doing? I'm going to say Becca. Becca, because that's the part I can read. Becca, how you doing? And it looks like you guys are ready for another matchup here. Let's get into this. On the left-hand side, looks like Disbanded is going to be going ahead and banning out the Genji. And while we have this ban phase currently happening, we're going to go ahead and let's just talk about the map picks that are map bans, coin flips, all that good stuff. So, Disbanded, or excuse me, Modo Miracle was the one who won the coin flip. Forecourt Gesture, how you doing? Woo, party time. Exactly. On the right-hand side, we are going to be having Modo Miracle, who did win the coin flip, so, or as you want to call it, lose. Either way you can look at it. But they won the coin flip, so they're going to be banning out Towers of Doom. The next map that was going to be banned out is going to be Dragonshire from Disbanded. And then this is going to be Infernal Shrines with a follow-up of Cursed Hollow. So, Infernal Shrines being picked up here by Modo Miracle. Genji going to be the first ban. Not a bad idea. The rotations that he can make are pretty powerful. The resets that you can get with him can be extremely beneficial, and the power with the Punisher is phenomenal. I really like both these bans. The Shimada Bros are not going to be making an appearance in this game. Hanzo is extremely strong as well. I like the bans out of both of these teams. Oh no, don't drop frames right as we're going live. There we go. It was just resetting. There, we should be good. Should be like live right now. Either way, first pick on the side of Disbanded, we are going to be seeing... There's a lot of good choices here, and I just casted Division B, so I'm thinking in terms of what they would maybe go, and also teams that I know from the past. I do know a couple of members of Disbanded, but I'm just going to say I think that they would either go into a gray main here or maybe a loot. Ooh. They're going to go ahead and pick up their tank right out of the gate. It's not a bad idea. What I was thinking is that you'd pick up your gray main or a Lucio. One, because they're both extremely strong, and two, there is the factor that Lucio is just on a map like this where you want to team fight around a point and sustain is your best friend, Lucio is very, very strong. Now, that's not to say that he is the only choice you can have in a situation like this, but it is definitely something to consider here. And realistically, Modo Miracle, I wouldn't be too surprised to see if they go ahead and try and pick those up before they go into the ban phase. At least one of those two things up. Because the whole thing, the whole argument I would make at this situation is when you have the 1-2 pick, and that's all you have before the ban phase, I personally think you lock in tank healer. It makes it very hard to kind of focus things down unless you know there are things that are really strong or there are things that you want, then you obviously grab like a Greymane who's really good at shrine clearing, team fighting, lane clearing, camp getting. I mean, you name it, Greymane is a very versatile hero, and he's one to always have in your back pocket because he's so strong. With that, they're going to pair it with the Diablo. So this is what I was talking about. You pick up your tank, you tank your healer, and then or something that you know is going to be strong for the situation. They go ahead and they pick up a really strong tank on a map like this where there's a lot of walls for collision, a lot of stun, and then you combo that with the Greymane right off the bat. They've got a phenomenal dive comp, but here's the thing. I just said what they're doing. They're already showing. Nice chair. Thank you. I do like my chair. I should cover my chair realistically because it's free sponsorship, but overall, I really like what they've drafted so far on the side of Modo Miracle. Now, what are you going to take Disbanded? So they're going to pick up their solo lane. And then this is, I keep harping on it, but I really think before the ban phase, picking up your healer and locking in something that you feel strong and not having a target ban on your healer is powerful. And so they're going to go ahead and pick up that Malfurion. With that, it's going to give the first ban over to Modo Miracle. So realistically, looking at their draft, they go, all right, what do they not have? They've got a strong solo laner, they've got a strong tank, and they've got their healer. Those are three things that we do not need to worry about, banning out. Realistically, what they should be focusing on is what's their shrine clear and what's their lane clear, or what's their, what's their shrine clear, lane clear, as well as what is going to be their main source of damage. These are the things that you have to look at when disband, or at least when Modo Miracle's in this ban phase. I personally say you ban out the Gul'dan. Innervation works well with him. Kael'thas is still an option as well. I would debate. I personally say the Gul'dan unless they're not going to take it themselves. Okay. So that might signify, it could. It doesn't mean that it's going to, but it might signify that they're going to lean into that Gul'dan for the shrine clear as well as the wave clear, because you do need something to clear the waves as you rotate between mid and bottom with your 4-man. Sonya's obviously going to be in that top lane going up against something, but so this is the interesting part of the draft. Do you ban out a strong healer that you know might be beneficial on this map like Alexstrasza, or do you ban out something that's strong against the Sonya? Because in the previous game that we had earlier tonight, they ended up going more along the route of banning out the Malthael, being a strong matchup against Sonya, but it's also, there's a different map and, different play style on that a little bit. But overall, we can see that they're going to be targeting down that Alexstrasza. They do not want that group healing that she does offer, the control she has, as well as she's just powerful. I mean, she's so much fun to play. Like, there are far and few between healers that I enjoy, and she is definitely one of them. I think Blizzard did a phenomenal job at making a really, really fun healer that actually does do very good healing and damage. I mean, she plays in my style. It's like Rhaegar, but at a distance where I don't need to be in the fight because I like my range. But we'll go ahead and get these next two pickups here on the side of Modo Miracle. Do you flex on your solo lane? No. They're going to pick up Leoric for the solo lane and Stukov for it. Okay. Still works with their composition, I think, very well. Leoric's got good lane clear. He's got the Tychus ban. Kenwood. I'd consider a Tychus ban maybe. But that I think that the Kael'thas was too obvious with the Malfurion, as well as the fact that they needed that lane clear. Diablo gets shredded by Tychus. Diablo also gets shredded by other things that are percentile-based damage, and that is still a viable option. Malthael could be picked up here. The double tank that they currently have could be a nuisance against them. I personally think they're still going to be going to the Gul'dan. I like the idea of Gul'dan and the Malthael, but we'll see. Tychus is very viable here as well. Draken Laser Drill's really great for zoning, and so is Commandeer. Ooh. So they go Vala into a Jaina. Okay. There's still a ton of setup. I mean, ETC Power Slide in, Ring of Frost, you have Sonya Leap. Oh, hey, bud. Okay. So it looks like that's going to be a Kel'Thuzad. I wasn't expecting it, honestly. I don't know whose draft I really like better. That's the thing. I mean, Modo Miracle, they have really interesting... Kenwood, hey, thank you so much. Let me also go ahead and pop this into chat. All right. Just so you guys know that it's... Yeah, alerts don't go off during chat, but they go off in every other scene except for the one we're about to switch into. But let's get into this. Disbanded versus Modo Miracle. I am too excited about this. I don't know who's going to be coming out on top of this. I honestly don't know. Punching everything and moving everything around. But let's get into this. Game number one, we are going to have Disbanded on the left here with Cersei on that Jaina. We have Fleur de Mer on the Malfurion. We have Seirus on the Sonya. Tim Hutch going to be playing the Vala, and Recon going to be on that ETC. On the right-hand side, we have Modo Miracle with Ghost Dunk on the Leoric, the Juggler on the Kel'Thuzad, Fonzie GG on the Diablo, Kriv on the Stukov, and Marad on the... Oh god, I just had it. Greymane, I do believe? Yes, Greymane. So we're going to go ahead and have actually block being picked up by the Sonya for that solo lane up against the Leoric. Not a bad idea, just mitigating another attack. The only thing is you're going to be trading out that little bit of extra sustain you do get, but you might be able to pick up some of those other things in the later talents. Currently do have just, I'm trying to look. Leoric actually going into the Valiant to Death. It's a little bit... I think it's a little bit of a change to what we typically see. It's typically more into his swing. But either way, we'll see. We'll see. It might give him a little bit more sustain in this fight in this lane. Didn't ban Jaina. Time for Jaina for disband. Yeah, ooh, good call, guys. Ooh, I'm peeking over at Twitch chat and just like forecourt gestures, just like, well, here you go. Let me just teach you how to look at a draft. Dang. Yeah. No, that is a whole lot. And Nutster, really quick, thanks for the follow there. I do appreciate. I will re-trigger it when it goes when we get back to the next phase. But let's go ahead and get right into this game. Currently, just gonna have rotations coming out from the two teams, and this is typical of what we would see on a map like this, especially Infernal Shrines. There are other maps where you do see this, but it's slightly different. Like Dragon Shire, you kind of see this a little bit. You also see this on Sky Temple, I think, as well, and then kind of the reverse thing on Tomb of the Spider Queen, just to name a couple. But at this point, it looks like the rotations from Modo Miracle are pretty well put together. It doesn't seem like they're missing out on too much experience. They're catching the wave in mid. They're able to kind of just burn it really quickly. So far, yeah, I really think the rotations coming up from Modo Miracle are extremely quick, and they're quite good, honestly. Do have a little bit of damage coming out from the Juggler, but it looks like they will rotate into top, potentially gonna get a pick onto Sierras here. Just waiting for him to get a little too far forward, but it looks like they will rotate back down into mid. Not really going for the pick, I guess. Ghost Dunk going to take a little damage, but this is going to be the top shrine popping up in the next 30 seconds. Now, the other thing to note here is that there hasn't been any priority on any of these camps so far. Typically, it's one of the things that you see just to kind of delay out the team, so you do have to maybe dedicate someone to lag behind and clear this bottom lane or mid lane. It's just one of those things, and that's exactly what actually Modo Miracle is going to do. They're going to go ahead and pick up this camp and put this into the lane so that way that there is some sort of pressure. So as this shrine happens, you're still going to have pressure in mid, and someone will eventually have to rotate down because these did get buffed. The siege camps did get buffed a little bit. So, and with the clear that Kriv will be giving there, it's going to be just beneficial for the members of Modo Miracle as they're going to be starting this out. But the other thing to consider is that they've given time for Disbanded to go ahead and get a nice setup onto this. You can see that Cersei is just already postured up. Actually, there's already danger pings going on. Recon going ahead and doing literally that, reconning, showing when the team's coming through. We do have a dive from Fonz GG, and there is a root that does go out from Malfurion. Will not catch any of the members. Fonz GG going to be taking so much damage. The spin will get it. That actually, Valo going to be getting that kill. And it's going to be first kill of the game going over to Disbanded, and with that, they kind of push so many of the members down into the lane here, as well as they just put Sonya into the top portion of the shrine. Root's going to go out and catch Mara there, but he will be able to just disengage without a problem. And this is the one thing I talk about having Sonya on a map like this, is that you can literally, if you win a team fight like they did, you can just put her on the shrine and she'll just sit there and clear it, and the rest of your team can push up the lane. So experience, but Fleur de Mur is going to be falling here to the Leoric. It's just so much damage coming out from the Juggler there, especially from that combo, but the Ghost Dunk will be falling as well. There is a cocktail coming out from the Greymane, but at this time we do end up losing the Vala as well, and this is such a crazy back and forth that we're actually going to be losing another member. So this is 4 members. They have 39. They literally need 1 skeletal defender, and Sierras is going in just for that, trying to get that 1 skeletal defender, but with that, it might not be the best idea. They end up getting it, but that is going to be Sonya falling, and they end up getting the Punisher, but they're going to end up not having any value with it because the team will just literally pull it in the mid lane. Diablo will soak up the majority of the damage, and they're going to start burning this down, and They might get some damage onto this gate, but it's not going to be anything big here. At this point, though, we do see Cersei rotating down onto this camp here, going to creating some of that pressure themselves. Tim going to be helping clear that out. In mid, we do have Malfurion, making sure that Soak is not missed out at all. But overall, we do have a little bit of a experience in favor of Modo Miracle. But here's the thing. Oh, no. We have a pull in. Keothazad just... Ooh. I was about to say, are they about to save the Malfurion? Because I think he flipped him out of the silence there. The thing I wanted to show right here really quickly is that there's about a 2,500-ish experience gap right now, and the big thing that you can notice is that it's mostly because of, you know, hero deaths. That is where the majority of the experience lies, and so early game you're not going to get a whole lot of experience from killing heroes, but now where we're getting into kind of this early mid game, I don't really know what to call it. We're 6 minutes in the game, but we're almost about to hit 10s on the side of Modo Miracle, so you can't really call it early. But timer-wise and scaling-wise, it's still pretty early, at least for Punishers. Either way, semantics aside, ooh, Mara taking quite a bit of damage here, but the root will come out. It's going to be catching Fonzie, but with that health pool of Diablo, just going to be fine. But that's one of the things I was just going to know is that as you progress into this game, some of these kills, they're really going to start stacking up. And that's why there's not a huge difference in experience, but there is starting to be a little bit of one. Sierra's definitely getting that soak, pushing the team closer to 10s in the solo lane, but Leoric will be just getting the Spectral Leech, making it so difficult. Now, the thing to note here is that they do have 10s on the side of Modo Miracle, but the altars won't be up for probably, I think, another minute or so. We do have Mara going ahead and just going onto this camp in that Worgen Foam, and this is the one thing I noted about in Draft about Greymane being such a versatile, like, viable hero to always pretty much pick up, because on a map like this where you have so many camps and you have this shrine, the clear in Worgen form, the wave clear in Worgen form, the damage buff in Worgen form, I guess we should just note that, is something to fear a little bit, and that's why, you know, you hear that growl from the go from the throat into that backline. It's absolutely terrifying. So, noting that ultimate itself, we do have go for the throat, Flailing Swipe, we do have Apocalypse from the Diablo, we have Shadow Fissure from the Keothazad, and we have Entomb from Leoric, so that should be a beautiful combo they might be able to pull together. But at the same time, we do have Wrath of Berserker, Rain of Vengeance, Ring of Frost, Twilight Dream, I almost said Twisting Nether, Twilight Dream, and we have Stage Dive from the ETC. We don't actually have a Mosh Pit. Now, I'm not saying it's bad that you didn't take Mosh Pit, but it's Mosh Pit. I think Mosh Pit has so much value. At the same time, they do have a lot of disengage and they have a lot of things to interrupt it. That is very, very true, but 5-man mosh it then. It's easier said than done, but we do have Recon and Sierra's currently just fighting the entire team. Floridamore is going to be coming out here. The Ring of Frost will come out, and it will catch a couple of the members, but it's just the two tanks. There's no follow-up damage. The Apocalypse does come out. It actually catches Cersei there, and they are starting to get quite a bit of damage out. Do we get the dive from Greymane? We actually have a pull in from Keothazad, taking so much damage. Cersei is getting a little bit low. We do end up losing the Sonya in this situation. There is no counter kill. We actually get the kill onto Jaina as well, and Marad is able to live, and I was thinking he was so close. We do have Florida Leaf is going to get bodied by the Keothazad, and that is going to be the shrine started by Modo Miracle. Woo! What a fight! Oh my god. I can't wait for you guys to see that. In bottom lane, we're going to be having Tim Hunch going to go ahead, and he will be picking up this camp. And this is really realistically the best thing Avala can do coming out of that team fight, is just to go ahead and just pick up this camp and just create some sort of off-lane pressure, as well as just... You can't just stand around doing nothing. So going ahead and picking up that camp was nice for the team. Times out well with the Punisher. Vala will be hearthing back. Should be able to get there in time as this Punisher does jump over the wall onto Sierras. It does look like that is the bait, but it's not happening. All right, there it is. There's the jump itself. They do have the chain, and they are going to get Sierras pulled in here. Quite a bit of damage coming out, and that is the blow up onto the Sonya during this push. And it looks like this Keothazad, like, I gotta say, he is just absolutely just insane right now. We do have a huge fight currently happening. Not huge. They get the push. That was a really weird graphic right there. But they go ahead and they get the fort. They push this in pretty well. And with 13s achieved, they're going to go ahead and just grab this camp and just play their game. On a map like this, and where we currently sit a little bit within the meta itself, in games like this, it's really, once you start to get a little bit ahead, as long as you set the pace and you keep this pace going, they will absolutely control this match and keep this all pushed up and in their favor. So Modo Miracle, as long as they can just keep everything in their own favor, team fight wise, as long as they take smart engagements, smart team fights and everything, realistically, this is their game to win. And I am calling this a little bit early, but it's one of those things that it's the pacing that happens. It's a lot of what I've noticed a lot in this current season of Nexus Gaming Series, that a lot of these teams, if they get a little wind behind their sails, they really start to go. And you can see right now that they're playing nice and aggressive. They're going to go ahead and they can see that there is the Sonya and the Vala in the top lane pushing up against the Lyric. So they said, you know what? Next one, it'll eventually be bottom. So we're going to go ahead and just start to burn down this lane, open this up. We do have Kael'Thuzad using that Shadow Fissure. They're just going to push that back a little bit. But taking out the gate while you have the members in the top lane is pretty beneficial. But the other thing to note here too is that the members, those two members that, you know, Tim and Sierras right there, going ahead and opening up that gate, if they do get this Punisher in their favor, it's going to be, there is no jump over the gate that they can kind of bait or have, which will be beneficial for this team. And at the same time, you could say, well, it's 13s to 15s, Bahamut. Why would you ever consider them winning this fight? I would say the same thing to you if I didn't literally just cast a game where on, and I know this is different map, different teams, different divisions, but they literally end up flipping the game around in this exact position. They were down to this exact point, but here's the storm. You never count the teams out, and that's what I love about it so much, is that you can look at this and be like, you know, it's 13 to 15, yes, but it's still, they still are even talent tiers. Now's the time if they're gonna take a fight, if they can get maybe a pick or two, especially onto that Kael'Thuzad with a shrine popping up within the next 30 or so seconds, or at least the activation is popping up quite soon. They can take this fight, but you can already see Modo Miracle, they don't want to play. They don't want to play with Disbanded. They want to get 16, then they want to play, because that's their time to shine. Now's, realistically, it doesn't look like Disbanded is going to get the fight that they're looking for, and they're going to go ahead and just clear out this wave and slowly soak 16. They get it, and you can see that their posturing has changed. They start to move forward a little bit further in lane. Disbanded is going to go ahead and back off behind their gate. They do have that for the defense, and this time this might get burned down before the shrine is even popped, but they should be able to kind of poke this out a little bit, make sure that they're not... Ooh, the Entomb does go out. We have a ton of damage coming out onto a couple of members. The Ring of Frost does go out, but we do lose the Sonya very quickly there, and we actually also lose the ETC. Apocalypse is going to go out, won't connect, but with those two killed, this is one of those situations where it's going to be very, very hard for Disbanded to realistically poke into these guys. I mean, I was going to say, unless Diablo charges out and they get some crazy pick onto him. Otherwise, it looks like Jaina's going to be rotating down into the bottom lane, going to be soaking that up, as well as maybe grabbing this camp to create some pressure. But this is going to be another Punisher in favor of Modo Miracle. And this will be pushing that top wave, which the gate is not gone, but it's pretty much destroyed, so they should be able to get through the gate, and the jump won't really matter too much. I really wish I could just go back and read Twitch chat, guys. I will catch up afterwards. I keep seeing you guys chatting in there, and I cannot wait. But it looks like at this point we do have the Punisher being picked up from Modo Miracle. They're going to go right on to this fort. Kriv going to be going ahead and clearing out that well. That's a big thing to remember, though. I mean, it doesn't give experience, but it definitely is lane sustain. There is some power behind it. And with this, talking about power behind it, we have a 93% Frozen Punisher pushing onto a keep 14 minutes into the game. It's going to get that leap over the wall. Should be able to pull it over, but there is the pull in onto Sierras. Once again, we do have the Shadow Fissure coming out. Doesn't look like it's going to connect, but we do also have the Entomb coming out. Diablo going to be charging in. There is the silence out from the Malfurion. Ring of Frost going to be coming out as well, but so much healing will be out. Malfurion will be falling first in this engagement. Sierras is a little bit low, going to have to back off. We do end up getting the Greymane and the Leora killed by the Jaina in this situation, but Punisher still alive, working on the keep. Won't be confirming it, but definitely a big trade in favor of Disbanded. Another pull coming out, and they actually, you know what? I'm going to eat my words right there. They get the kill onto the ETC with that pull, but it looks like they're out for blood right now. They're going to back right off. They're not going to be taking this. Whew. These teams, I mean, I can't even keep up with them, but let's consider some things here. 16s are achieved now for Disbanded. It's even talent tier. Yes, there is still a 2-level difference, and it is in favor of Modo Miracle. But the other thing to consider is that there are some important 16 factors here. We do have the Northern Exposure from the Jaina that will be beneficial for some of these team fights. We do have a little bit more sustain on the Sonya with Nerves of Steel. Jaina going to be going into those frost shots, which are going to be pretty powerful for her as well. We do have Malfurion going into, and I'm sorry, the Moonlit Harmony, as well as just the imposing presence from the ETC, which will be beneficial up against that Greymane who does dive in. So a lot of good talents here at 16 for Disbanded for some of these team fights. But at the same time, we're only about a level and an eighth away from 20s on the side of Modo, which is a couple good fights for them. Charge into on Recon. Won't connect. The Ring of Frost goes out, but it does not connect onto any of the members. We do have oh, we got Stejev coming out here with the Apocalypse as well. Huge blow up onto so many of the members. The dive in onto the Jaina will be getting the kill. We have a flip over onto Recon here. Another dive onto him. And that will be so much damage going out. Seer is going to be falling a little bit low, but the Flame Slip will come out to protect Kriv from dying here. We do have the root that does go out onto Leoric, but looks like the team has set their sights on Marad here, and they are able to get that pickoff. And that is pretty big, but here's the thing. They get those 2 kills, and there are these very long death timers, but mid is currently getting pushed in. Bottom is currently getting pushed in. So at the same time, they get these 2 kills, and there is that little bit of like, we get to push up, but we don't because we have to go back and clear. At the same time, though, it does give them a nice little window where they can slowly work their way closer to those 20s, those even talent tiers. They do not want to be going into this next Punisher with without their 20s, because that's the big fight. Like, this is the next big fight, and it is going to be a difficult one if they do not have that talent tier equality, if you will. Oh man, just I gotta say that the plays between these 2 teams are just insane. This Kael'Thuzad is just like, it's blowing my mind right now, though. I really have to say, like, I have not seen a Kael'Thuzad combo this insanely well since maybe like release, and like there were like 3 people I casted who was like they knew it right off the bat. They were like mechanical gods. They were like, oh yeah, I can pick up this hero and I do like this. Like, I tried to roll my face across the keyboard. That never happened. So, 20s are really close. They should be able to get it with this mid lane clear really quickly. Cersei going to be going ahead and backing off. That is 20 going to be picked up. We do have Kael'Thuzad going into the Danver turn. We do have them currently moving into the Shrine. Seer's going to be getting a little bit of that clear as they kind of work their way out. Ghost Dunk not going to get that Spectral Leech off. We do have the Entomb go out. That isn't going to be connecting, so it's going to be big for the members of Disbanded here. The Apocalypse does go out. It doesn't really connect, but the Root does go out on a couple of the members. We do have Diablo falling really low. He does have Soul, so he will be right back out. Now, we do also have Recon diving in. There is the Leoric who is going to be falling as he spawns. Basically, Marad going to be the next one to fall. There is the chain that actually doesn't connect. The Juggler not able to make a combo happen. And that was a huge blow up for Disbanded, and that's exactly the team fight they needed to turn this around. But here's the thing. Fonzie GG already getting close to back, but the only thing is they don't have their Greymane. Do they go... it doesn't look like they're going to be going for the fight. The members of Disbanded are playing very safe in this situation. They're getting the clear. This is going to be a 18-minute Punisher picked up for them. But here's the thing. Mid's slightly defended. They do have the ability to pull over the jump and maybe pull it closer towards the keep front gate, which it looks like Diablo will be able to do here. They are slowly pulling these guys over. But at this time, I mean, they're going to be starting with 20s achieved. They're going to start working down this lane. We'll talk really quickly about 20s. We do have some Nerves of Steel. Blink from the Jaina, actually. We do have the upgrade for, I think, Stage Dive? No, that is Death Mosh. Yes, that is Death Metal. Stage Dive into Death Metal. Blink for the Diablo, so that's going to be Hell's Gate for him. Upgrade for the Entomb, which I believe silences now also. And then I think that's the Hunter's Blunderbliss, which is attack bonus in Worgenthorn. Oh, Splash, excuse me. Overall, I mean, 20 is going... We're in this last half of the game, and it's keeps to keeps. This has been an insane matchup. Camp going to be picked up in favor of Disbanded. It's going to be working its way into mid. And overall, Disbanded is playing a really, really smart game here. They're just going ahead, and they're not laning out too far. They're not pushing up the lanes to a point where they can't retreat from. They're just going ahead. They're picking up these camps. They're just creating lane pressure until the next Punisher is going to be popping. But here's the thing. there's only so much that you can do. Eventually, you're going to have to end up running into the enemy team in this situation because of the fact that Punishers won't be available for, I think, another 2 minutes or so. Maybe a minute and a half. So realistically, you don't want to fight too aggressive. You don't want to posture too aggressive. And this is where we start to see maybe some gank bush plays coming out. Do they maybe pressure a lane up so then they get a rotation from the enemy team through this area? We'll see. At this point, we do see just both teams just rotating as a 5-stack, making sure that they're not going to be missing out. We do have a pause coming out, so let's go ahead and pull away the screen, and let's go ahead and look at these talents. Actually, we can look at damage numbers. I have not showed that all game.
Thank you.
And that was actually, oh my god, Zad Hots, like literal perfect timing for that. Holy crap. Thank you so much for the 200 bits, dude. I really, really appreciate it. Also, really quickly, thank you. Shout out to Kenwood, Nutster, and Becca for the follows during the stream. Whew. Oh, they're already ready. We're already going to go back in. All right, let's get this going. All right, going. Three, two, 1. Pause break. It didn't matter too much, but I always like to try and take it as, you know, that's awesome. Thank you. By the way, thank you so much, Zadhots, for the bits right there. Literally perfect timing for it to actually like show up on stream too. I was like, why did I hear the alert? Oh, the alert went off because yeah, we swapped scenes really quickly. But at this time, we do have these members just rotating down into bottom lane. It doesn't look like they really want to take a fight too much, and both teams realistically just playing around the fact that they do need to wait for this next Punisher because that's the next big brawl, and it is going to be top lane. So let's take a peek. Looking over at actually Modo Miracle, we can kind of see it. They do have a little bit of this keep front gate saved a little bit. Sierra's potentially going to get caught out here. There is the Entomb. It does not connect from Ghost Dunk. It will be on cooldown, but they should be able to have that up in time for the next altar phase. But here's the thing to consider. Disbanded is going to be... Ooh. I just looked over at Twitch chat and I realized, I was like, no flailing swipe upgrade. The flailing swipe upgrade for Core Jester would be the one where you can use them as single swipes, so you just have more options for disengage. But here's the thing. The other thing to consider in this situation, though, is that there's no mosh. And they did... And you're not going to take... You're not going to be taking Massive Shove. Flailing Swipe is just such a better team disengage. So overall, if there's no mosh to deal with, and you haven't been taking bad fights and you're a dive team, realistically, the disengage like that might not be beneficial. So that 20 upgrade, not a bad idea. Huh. We'll see, but overall, looks like Disbanded is already positioned up onto this altar, and they are ready to go. They're going to be burning this down quite quickly, just getting almost halfway through. We do have a power slide out into a couple of people. Root going to be going out. There is also the follow-up of a ring onto the Diablo. We will be losing him quite quickly here, and he does not have souls, so he will be falling. We have the silence and the stage dive onto Ghost Dunk here, but there is the Entomb that does come out, which was silencing for a second there, but it looks like this chase is going in favor of Disbanded, and they get the dive right onto Kriv here, and that is going to be just about a team wipe. We do have the Greymane getting out, but at this time, this is going to be an Arcane Punisher picked up in favor of Disbanded. It's going to be barreling down onto that top lane, and they already go ahead and start to make quick work of this gate. They want to make sure that they get as much value out of this as possible. Mara could potentially going to be falling a little bit low here. The auto attacks coming out from Tim will be confirming the kill, and with that staggered death, that's huge for the members of Disbanded. Oh, no, what did he take? Yeah, he did go for the Bio Explosion switch. Oh my god, that chase there, and also that staggered death is so big for the team. So, Sonya finishing out the Punisher, and so this is something else I also talk about in draft about Sonya on this map, and I think I mentioned it earlier in this game, is that this is what happens. You get a wipe, your whole team pushes up the lane, you leave Sonya there, she'll sustain, she'll get the clear. Yeah, this is the best way you do it, and they're going to be moving right into the core. They're going to start doing damage right onto it. This is a 100% Arcane Punisher right behind. There is the Ring of Frost that does come out, doesn't connect, but we do have the Punisher jumping onto a couple of members inside of that Entomb there, but they are getting a little bit low on the side of Modo Miracle. The Flailing Swipe does come out for the full disengage. There is Leoric falling. The chain does come out. They actually get the blow up onto Malfurion and ETC. Deathmosh is there, but there's no one to follow it up with. But this punish, we have Sierra's just auto attacking the core with Tim Hutch. And that is going to be game number 1 going over to Disbanded. GG, well played. Apologize for the delay, everybody.
Cursed Hollow.
Oh, the only thing I don't remember, did I set the banner right? I had Disbanded on the left. This is their map. Yes. Okay, banner set. Looks like we're good. Let's get going into this, guys. All right, so ETC going to be banned out in this first slot. Must have been a big enough nuisance for the members of Modo Miracle to be like, we don't want to deal with that anymore. So it looks like, I mean, realistically, not a bad ban, especially on a map like this where there is a lot of team fighting around these centralized points. It's pretty big for them. God, I was gone forever. My apologies, stream. Sorry about that. I didn't miss any cheers or anything. Okay, cool. All right. I'm glad you guys did stay around and watch my chair stream. It's a phenomenal chair stream. But we do have the Genji being hovered currently on the side of Disbanded, not wanting to deal with his resets as well as his poke, his dive. I mean, overall, just Genji is a nuisance. But here's the thing, Modo Miracle could potentially be picking up Hanzo here, and the thing with Hanzo on a map like this, boy oh boy does he chunk the boss. And with double bosses, you gotta go, I personally say you go W build all day every day. Oh, Mudkip, Mad Mudkip, to explain to you what the Nexus gaming series is. It's a obviously it's a gaming series for Heroes of the Storm, where it's a domination league, as they call it. And so they play 2 games. It's if you win both, you get 3 points. If you tie, you go 1-1, and obviously if you lose, you don't get any. And the opposing team gets 3. And then so at the end of the season, which I believe is 6 weeks of gameplay, 8 weeks? No, I feel like it's 8 total. It's like I feel like the season's short. Either way, it's like 6 or 8 weeks of gameplay. And we're currently in week number 3. The totals, it's all totaled out. Then there's semifinals, grand finals. There's some prizes and stuff. He is talented. My best friend, yes, he is very talented. He has been drawing for ever. Like, I remember we grew up literally next door to each other, and like we used to draw Dragon Ball Z characters, and I was like, yours always look better than mine. And then he went to college for it and does it for forever. So yeah, he's really good. He's really good at it, and so I always I'm like, can you make all my stuff for me because you're good at this? But let's actually talk about the draft here. We don't need to talk about art. Oh god. Okay, interesting. So we do have the Hanzo being picked up by Modo Miracle, and that is something to consider. But the other thing that I like, and so I was thinking about this earlier, but this is something that I was thinking about, and I wanted to bring up with some of my friends who have a grander game knowledge and have a deeper understanding of mechanical gameplay and 1v1 matchups and situations like this. I was playing earlier as Hanzo, just trying to get a better feel and understand the character and everything, and I was getting bodied by a Li Ming. So a combo from a Li Ming would either 0 to 99% me, or I would basically just if I was not at full health, I would just die. So I really like the Li Ming here up against Hanzo. He's a squishy little boy, so it'll be difficult to deal with that. And she has really good poke through the trees and envision where he doesn't have, but at the same time, he's still really strong at picking up camps and stuff. I gotta keep noting it. And with that, they're going to be picking up the Lucio and the Greymane. Lucio being phenomenal for team fights, and the Break It Down being very strong in situations like that where you do potentially have heroes diving and blowing you up. The other thing to consider here is that there is the Greymane for that follow-up onto the little bit of poke damage that you have from the Hanzo. Actually, no. Well, I don't know if I really agree with the new Breck ban. Mostly because like Li Ming shreds through it, and I don't think he's that big of a deal in a situation like this, but the web rep is pretty powerful. If anything, I would be banning out Tyrael in my opinion, unless they plan on picking it up themselves on the side of Disbanded after this ban phase. That is something else to consider here. I mean, I don't hate it, but season is 7 weeks plus playoff. Thank you, Ender DS. So we're currently in week number 3, so we still have the rest of this week plus 4 more. Then there's playoffs, which is like 2 weeks or something. I forget. Dahaka going to be banned out here, not wanting to deal with that in the solo lane as well as just that global threat. Realistically, I think that Modo Miracle could have picked it up, but the ban isn't a bad idea, seeing as how that they're not going to be getting, you know, this next phase after the ban. So not able to really focus on anything in particular. Disbanded showing respect to Diablo after Modo shows respect to ETC. All right. These next 2 picks, though, so realistically, they're going to need their healer, and I would say they would probably take their solo lane. Sonya, once again, not a bad idea, but actually, you know what? Brightwing, maybe? Do you go Brightwing? Brightwing Sonya? No. Okay. They're going to go for the Malfurion, as well as the Vala. Okay. I don't disagree with it at all. I think that it works very well with what they've currently drafted. I'm not seeing anything that's just like, oh yeah, like this gives them the edge. Like it seems like most teams have been pretty, there's a nice balance between the two teams. Like yes, there's a lot of good camp getting from Hanzo and such like that. But you also have to consider the fact that Li Ming just pours damage into him and he struggles against that. The other thing is Lucio, I don't think can't really burst heal up against the burst damage out from Sonya and Vala. But at the same time, you have to consider Malfurion, not the strongest boy in the world for stuff like that, and with the dive capability that they currently have on the side of Modo Miracle, it's getting a little treacherous. These next 2 picks, though, they're going to need their solo lane, or they're going to need their... Okay, so Sonya and then their main tank. Okay. The only thing I'm going to note here, so currently for both teams, unless Murden goes into Haymaker, realistically, we're just going to be seeing... We don't have any boss control from either team. Technically, Wave of Force maybe from Li Ming, but I don't know. I really do not know. I'm kind of like peeking over at chat. A soft Li Ming counter with Beals and Spell Shield. Maybe I want something to Cocoon. Malfurion coming for Cursed. I mean, Anubrak, like I see the reasoning for Anubrak. It's just I don't think that they should be worried about it whatsoever. I still think that this should be the Tyrael though. I realistically think it should be Tyrael. I think it would give them the edge in the team fight. Tyrael, in my opinion, is stupid powerful. I think that he, with 13 and 16 specific talents, he can just be an absolute jerk. And especially on a map like this where you have double boss, a lot of control, you're going to be seeing that Hanzo definitely rotating for a lot of those camp pickups. And you have Sonya, I mean... I think this is going to be a hard match for Disbanded, but they have the tools and the assets to win it. Overall, I do think that Modo does have a very strong draft and a very strong team for this map. But poke damage that does come out from Disbanded, curses could go forever, so we'll see. We'll see as we get into this game number 2 between Disbanded and Modo Miracle. And on the left, we have Disbanded up 1 game with Tim Hutch on the Vala. We have Recon on the Diablo. Fleur de Mer going to be on that Malfurion. Cersei on the Li Ming. Okay. And Sierra's going to be rounding it out on the Arthas. For like 1 second, the little ball that she had, I was like, is that Striker Li Ming? And I'm like, no, the outfit is not Striker Li Ming. But let's go ahead. On the right-hand side, we have Modo Miracle with the Juggler on the Greymane. Fonzie GG on the Muradin. Kriv on that Lucio. Ghost Dunk on the Sonya. And Marad going to be rounding out the team on the Hanzo. All right. Currently, I have just a little bit of vision coming out from Hanzo. Most of these teams don't look like they realistically want to take anything of a fight at this time. Just kind of poking out, getting some of the clear onto this wave. Tim going to be rotating in. Going to get a little damage onto Fonzie GG, and that will be the first kill of the game going over in favor of Disbanded. Sonya going to be going ahead and rotating down into that bottom lane. Looks like Tim will be the laner up against that Sonya, and in top we're going to be having Sierra's probably going up against the Greymane. That's what it looks like it is for now. Laughs in poison. I'm sorry, I just glanced over at that. Laughs in porous. Arthas is strong here. I'm not gonna lie about that at all. But still, I just like Tyrael. On a map like this, there was just so much control for him. But we'll see. We'll see. I mean, Mike PPDM, I do not know. We're going to have this camp, though, being picked up on the side of Disbanded, and it looks like at the same time... No, it doesn't look like they're going to be doing anything of the sort. They're just going to be going ahead and diving a little bit onto Tim here, just poking this out. Realistically, these lanes are going to be a pretty even matchup overall. We did have that rotation, which was pushing into Diablo a little bit, and it did get some damage as that wave did crash into mid. But overall, not going to be anything too gigantic. Peeking over really quickly, Hanzo did go into that redemption, actually, at level 1. Which is going to be stacked up pretty easily for him, especially around all these points. We do have this Li Ming getting some nice clear on that. The other thing to consider is that we do have these giants currently making it up into this top lane, and this is going to be where the next curse point is. We also have Lucio going into bottom, which will give the free time for the Sonya to go ahead and rotate to that siege camp, grab that, and that's going to be perfect for them because the fact that it will be in that bottom lane, delaying out one of the members. And the reason I mentioned Brightwing earlier in the match over the Malfurion was because you do well, you don't need, but having that global threat as well as the polymorph for a potential dive that you could get from some of those members is pretty big, as well as it offers that boss control with the Emerald Wind, and it would give the friendly team vision with Peekaboo at 7, also some spell shield, you know, a little bit of a speed buff. It's just little things like that might be beneficial for some of the members, but overall I still think that the drafts as they stand are very, very strong. We do currently have a nice posturing out from a couple of the members of Disbanded, but with the vision provided from Greymane and Hanzo, there won't be a problem for them to kind of see where people are kind of positioning up for this. Now Sonya coming in a little bit in the flank position. Fleur de Mer is already going to be set for this. It looks like they stun went out from Muradin. We actually lose the Arthas quite quickly in this fight, but Kriv a little bit low. The Recon needing to back off in this situation. We do have that poke going out from the Hanzo, but it looks like with the cocktail going out as well. Dive in from Ghost Dunk, able to actually save. No, Fleur de Mer will not be able to get out, and that will also be Diablo falling, and that's going to be first curse going over to the members of Modo Miracle, and they will also pick up 3 kills on top of that. Excuse me, 4 actually, because Sirius, I think, just got back. Going to be having to rotate into that bottom lane to clear out the Siege Giants that are currently going to be stacking into that gate right away. And actually, Ghost Dunk going to be getting the clear on this quite early as well. Tribute, though, going to be in this bottom left-hand position in favor for the members of Disbanded, so they're able to kind of position for this. Now, the thing to consider here is that they do not have 7s. So in this situation, this is a little bit risky for them. They're going to go ahead and get this clear, which should be giving a little bit of lane pressure, just pushing this up a bit. Should be beneficial for that team. Going to get latched onto Fleur de Mer there a little bit. They try to size soak for 7, but it's not going to be enough just yet. They're able to kind of just poke this for now. Fleur de Namur is going to go ahead and try and grab this. They are just trying to body the damage, but it doesn't look like it's going to be enough. We do have Sierra's taking a little bit of damage here as they are starting to dive onto him. There is the stun coming out from Diablo onto Ghost Dunk. He is pinned, and that will be the kill in this fight. We actually have a flip onto Fonzie, but he is able to get that Dwarf Toss out, but they do want that follow-up. There is the Howling Blast out from Arthas, and it looks like Li Ming will not be chasing. They go ahead and pick up their own first curse. And it looks like the teams will be going into mid and getting a little bit of this clear, trying to get rid of this camp as quickly as possible. And actually, let's go ahead and just, we're talking about Hanzo talents in chat, but let's go ahead and just take a peek. Explosive arrows are going to be picked up at level 4. We have sharpened arrows, which will be the attack, excuse me, not attack speed reduction, the armor reduction. So, there's a lot of things to note. I personally just go straight W build because it's like I understand that the armor reduction is a nuisance, but I've just been playing him in quick match, so I haven't had a lot of tanks where I have to worry about it. It's like it's literally just been like all assassin compositions with like 2 healers. So it's just one of those things where it's like a literal all-out brawl. So like learning a lot about Hanzo, but the armor reduction is insanely beneficial, especially with all that damage buff that he currently just finished out as well. Currently have the flip going out onto onto Ghost Dunk here, and it looks like they might not have an out. The root did go out, but it does not look like it's going to be enough to confirm the kill. Hanzo able to get that vision out for the friendly team, so they do know how that they're going to be trying to position into this. We do have Fonzie GG. I don't think he has another Dwarf Toss. There is a root that does not connect the Howling Blast. Ooh, another actually root coming out from Malfurion. They're going to be able to actually, he does have a hop out of there, going to be just fine. But the Juggler not in a very good position. Cersei looks like he wants to get this kill. Orb does go out, but it does not connect. That will be the Greymane separated from the team. There is the dive out onto the Hanzo from Tim there a little bit. Recon going to go ahead and try and just zone this out a little bit, and actually Tim gonna get poked from the back. We actually lose Hanzo very early in this fight. That is a reset for the Li Ming. A huge cocktail going on to so many of the members. They're gonna have to back off here, but they go in for the fight, and actually Diablo falling so early does not have souls, will be down for the full death timer. Looks like Sears was going for that channel, but it's not gonna be started just yet. 2 of the members trying for this right now, and Cersei's so low, looks like they are able to grab this in time, and they're gonna be able to back off, just losing 1 member, and it's a 1-for-1 trade, I do believe. Whew. Alright, so here's the thing also to note. Greymane finished with his cocktail build. Hanzo, I believe, is already finished? No. Or he finished 1 stacking of it? I thought I saw it go all the way. Vala's about over halfway. Arthas is getting there on his. But it looks like this is going to be a boss call for both teams. Overall, I mean, I think it's just going to be a trade. There's a potential for them to invade this, but I don't think they can make it there in time. Especially with the curse point being right here. Overall, oh god, are they? No, they're just going to try and get 10s before this next fight. Let's talk about 10s really quickly. Oh, they won't be able to get here in time. That's if they can catch these members a little bit low, but none of them are really low with that Lucio. They should have just, yeah, if they, well, they had time. They rotated back. They're fine. Both teams posturing up with 10s. But let's go ahead and go through these really quickly from left to right. We do have Twilight Dream. We have the Apocalypse from the Diablo, Army of the Undead from the Arthas, Rain of Vengeance from the Vala. We do also have the Displacement from the Li Ming, and Break It Down was tried to be used there, but it wasn't in time because of the stuns that did come out. There was also the Silence out from the Malfurion. This is a huge fight in favor of the members of Disbanded. Juggler gonna get chased here. It looks like they are able to follow up that kill with the Vala Hungering Arrow. That is also gonna be them getting cursed here. And so Boss is pushing up top. Granted, yes. But it looks like they're fine with giving that forward over, letting it just naturally push, and they're gonna go ahead and start pushing down this bottom lane. They're gonna prioritize their own boss lane, make sure that they really start to get some value here. That top fort, though, as maybe if you glance at the top, evens up the experience just about. But here's the thing, this is a curse. They're not really spreading out to soak up the maximum amount of experience, but here's the thing, they're going to get the maximum amount of value, I do believe, especially with seeing a couple of the members in some of the mid lane. I do believe there is also picking up that camp too, so they know that they can pressure this very hard and then maybe back off after that. But the other thing to consider here is that 13s are very close. So if they can grab the 13 and then go into a strong fight, that will be beneficial for that team. But Disbanded doesn't look like they're going to be going for that. Yo, I gotta know. It's Curse, and top lane got pushed in quite hard. Now, granted, there was also a boss there too. We do have a little bit of a chase going out onto Tim here. It looks like there will be a nice, huge root onto a couple of the members. The Apocalypse does come out from the Diablo. They get almost a reset for the Li Ming, but there's a huge stun from the Dragon Arrow from Hanzo that kind of stops all the forward momentum from the members of Disbanded. They go ahead and they just literally disband from the fight. They're going to go ahead and push into this mid, maybe take out the sustain and open this map up a little bit more for themselves on the side of Disbanded. And by pushing this up, this is huge for their team because it makes it harder for the members of Modo Miracle to rotate back to get into a safe position where maybe they need to disengage for a potential fight or a bad curse or something. So overall, the favor of the game slowly going over in favor of Disbanded here, and they're creating a lot of good lane pressure. They're starting to open up the map in their favor. But we saw, I mean, game number 2 between Game of Throws and Regen, I mean, later half of the game came around and just the members switched on, and they absolutely turned that game around and took it. So it's Here's the Storm. Anything can happen, but at the way that they're pacing themselves right now and the way that they're opening up this map and they're really pulling the members of Modo Miracle to do the things, that they want to do, that, forcing them for these rotations is a bit hard on the side of Modo Miracle. And right now it is 13-13. There are the majority, actually almost every ultimate is available. There is the Wrath of Berserker pop. We do have Recon getting that dive onto Ghost Dunk. We do have a huge Twilight Dream and a double stun onto a couple of members. We have a double blow up onto the Muradin and to the Sonya, and with that they definitely can take a lot further. They can take such an aggressive posturing at this time with both of those 2 members dead. Bosses are available in a minute and a half about each. Yeah, and then so Curse should be up in I think a minute or so. We can see that it is going to be in that top lane, so the members just opening that up and just pushing so well. But Disbanded just showing up, like after 10s, they were just like, you know what? We're going to take everything we want to take after getting that curse, and they absolutely do. Now, here's the thing. They do try and start to delay this out. The Juggler going ahead and picking up that camp, which will kind of push down the bottom lane, which was stacked up by Lucio. So they are going to get a little bit of value here, which will push this up for them. At the same time, Tim Hutch and Recon going to go ahead and work down this camp with the help of a couple friendly team members. We do have Sears pushing up mid to make sure that happens, but we have a bush party currently happening for Modo Miracle. They're posturing up for this. Howling Blast goes out for the scout. And this point, I'm just like, I'm waiting for the first person to just go like a little bit too far in this fight. Crib trying to get the... Zad Hotspur, thank you for the 100 bits, dude. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Oh my god. And Fonzie GG currently going to go ahead and actually get dove on by a couple of members. There's the Wrath of Berserker that does come out. There's the Break It Down from the Lucio, but we also have the Apocalypse coming out as well. But Malfurion is falling so early in this fight. Ghost Dunk a little bit low, but able to spin for so much health in this fight. And that is going to be... That is so much value from the life funnel there. I gotta say, life funnel right there. The triple versus heroes, and she just sat there spinning into heroes. I was like, wow, she's falling so low. She's so low, and she gets right out of there. So mid lane assaulted by this camp, gonna get cleared up by the Sonya, but the rest of the team does rotate down for this camp. We definitely can see a few of these members. I'm sure that they do know. Do they know? I'm pretty sure that they do. I don't think they need to scout it out. Either way, though, they're going to be slowly working onto this boss. They actually start to chase a couple of the members down. They're starting to go in for the fight here, trying to get some resets off of the Li Ming, but they actually steal this away, and Tim Hunch keeping this leash to him. They're actually going to try and steal this away while Sonya goes ahead and goes for... Okay, goes for the curse point. I'm like, she's kind of lagging on minimap, but that's actually boss stolen away. Oh my god, so they have 16s. It's 15-16. Technically still in favor for Disbanded. If Fleur de Mer doesn't get caught out here, it's pretty big. I don't know if they have poke. They go for the poke. Ghost Dunk in that backline. We do have the Diablo going ahead and diving in onto Ghost Dunk. There is the Rain of Vengeance that does go out, but there is a Break It Down that used as well. Looks like Lucio did get the stun onto a couple of members. The silence does come out from the Malfurion here. Do you have the boot back from the Lucio? But Fonzie GG in that avatar form so low. We do have the auto attacks coming out from the Valen that will be confirming the kill. Ghost Dunk low here. They are starting to chase a couple of these members out, and that will be Kriv getting out with the speed from the Boostio. But they go ahead and say, you know what, we'll take this, and we'll also go ahead and, you know what, we'll take your boss too, while that bottom one goes ahead and just chunks down this keep. Disbanded going ahead and making some power plays in this later half of this game. And I really got to say that double boss call that they just did was phenomenal, as well as the fact that they picked up that boss, they picked up the curse point, they denied the curse for the members of Modo Miracle. I mean, these guys are playing out of their mind, but Modo Miracle, we got to just shout out 678 health left onto that keeping that alive. But here's the thing, bottom lane stacking up a little bit here. It's got infinity damage, and you've got a lane, but the other thing is it's stacked up a little bit. Those archers are going to do quite a bit of damage. And I know we're watching minions currently potentially get a keep, but that's the thing, is these minions might get a keep, and I don't think the members of Modo Miracle are going to realize that. Another wave stacking up once again, and I think this is going to be it. Actually, Sierra's wanting to confirm it as well. Got to get that Howling Blast and just hit all the buttons, make sure that we get that keep, because catapult pressure is something to be feared, especially as you get into the later half of this game. And the other thing to consider is that we're looking at a potential second curse in favor of the members of Disbanded, while Modo Miracle, realistically, with the even talent tiers, they've got to push back their lanes a little bit, which they have. I honestly think at this point, you try and take an aggressive fight. They've got their lanes where they think they need to be. Bottom lane is a nuisance. They might need to push that up a little bit, maybe dedicate 1 or 2 people for that, push it up quickly, but then I think they really got to go for maybe a hard invade, or they set themselves up around the next curse for a big fight, and they go in for that with that advantage. But we'll see. 2-2, curse point. Let's see how these teams come into this. We actually have on the left-hand side, we can kind of see in the top left of the monitor right now, we do have this Bruiser Camp being picked up at the last second. So this does give them this mid lane pressure, but the other thing to consider is that it gives them the posturing pressure on the side of Modo. I'm so excited about this. I can't say anything as they're just postured up currently. For this, we do have Diablo using that Fire Stomp just to get a little bit of vision in the bush. We do have the stun going on to Tim Hunch there. Doesn't look like everyone's pretty much holding everything. Like, this is a very, very tense fight right now. Mid lane is currently getting pushed in. Top lane's currently getting pushed in. Bottom lane currently has the Giants. We have a root coming out from the Malfurion. The dive does start to happen onto a couple of members. The Break It Down is used, and there's also the Twilight Dream that comes out for the Malfurion. We do have Murden in the Avatar form, but the Apocalypse used by the Diablo is going to connect to so many of the members, but Sonya spinning into so many of these members is getting so much damage, but that is going to be Arthur's falling, Sonya falling. We also lose the Murden, Lucio, we lose the Greymane, and that is almost a team wipe. We do have the Hanzo is able to leap out, but here's the thing. Curse just starting out. Top lane is just crashing. Mid lane is just crashing. Bottom lane, it's cleared out. It's got this difficulty here, but here's the thing. There's no keep. You've lost your entire team. There's 30 seconds. Is this a potential game-ending push? That's the question. They're running down bottom, and I realistically think that they could potentially take this. They go straight under the core. It looks like they're going to start dealing some damage out. There is 10 seconds till Sonya is the first one back. Marad is going to try and poke this as best as he can, but the core is currently losing its shields. There is the root that is out onto him, and we're currently 70%, and it looks like it's going to be falling. We do have almost every member back up from the members of Modo Miracle, but the GGs are called out, and it looks like this is game number 2 going over to Disbanded. They will take all 3 points. GG, well played. Whew. What a game number 2. And really quickly, I got a shout out. Zadhots. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you for the 100 bits during that. I really, really appreciate the donation, dude. All right. Who are we interviewing? Alrighty. Let me go ahead and message the captain really quick. I didn't take notes from this entire matchup. I usually take a note. Me! Okay. Oh, yeah. With me. Oh, there we go. Let's fully mute myself. With that, with the end of that game, we are going to be having Cersei, the captain. Congratulations on your 2-0 victory. How you feeling?
We feel pretty good right now.
I don't blame you. That was an insane matchup you guys just went through.
Thank you, thank you. We were pretty stoked right now.
I really got to say, so I got two questions for you. Let's talk about Infernal Shrines really quickly. I got to say, like, a lot of that match, it seemed a little one-sided, and then you guys just turned on something, and what was it, like a talent tier? Was it a certain fight that really got it in your favor? What was it that really just kind of like turned Infernal Shrines back into your favor?
We hit 13, which helped a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we just we figured out what they were trying to do with their Entomb and combo, and were able to position in a way that they started missing it. And once they started missing it, then we were able to engage on our terms, and that's kind of how we were able to start winning.
I do have to say that there were a lot of Entombs into the later half of that game, maybe around that 13-16 area, where definitely you guys they were just clipping, like, I think I got on stream. Oh, I got to say really quickly on stream, Zadhot's just donated another 100 bits. Thank you. But, Sears was actually, like, diving, like, just out of range of those Entombs. Like, it was, like, actually, like, pushing him out of the clip or something. So, I just shout out. I mean, you guys absolutely just, like, you analyzed what was happening, and you guys did a phenomenal job of just taking that and just adjusting your entire gameplay for it.
Thank you. Yeah, it was really fun. We were really excited about this match. We've been looking forward to playing this team all season. They've been doing so well, and so it feels pretty good right now.
Oh, that's amazing. And then, so game number 2, Cursed Hollow. The composition that they have, and I'm dropping, my brain can't think of the right word, but like the overall tone that comes with a Hanzo pick. Like, were you guys worried about the draft on the side of Modo Miracle, or was it something like where you're like, okay, as long as we avoid, X and Y, we should be fine in this fight?
No, we were definitely concerned about their draft. We know they have a solid Genji game, for example. We didn't want to deal with that. We opted to deal with the other Shimada brother. We figured we could handle that. And so that was good. We enjoy that map.
That was, I gotta say, you guys played that so well, and some of those fights, I mean, that boss run into their boss into, you guys picked up yours, and then you literally ran to the curse, fought them, killed everyone, but I think the Greymane, who I think like rolled away from, I think you, because I think you almost got it with a magic missile, but I think there was a minion in the way, and then you guys end up picking up their boss, and it just, I really gotta say, you guys played your minds out on that map.
Thank you. It was a really fun game.
But before I let you go, any shout outs you want to give or anything?
Shout out to my team. They have been fantastic. It's just so much fun to play with those guys. We're having a really good time. Shout out to my guild, the Crimson Cross, who has been cheering us on. Shout out to my Foggy League friends who cheer us on as well. And shout out to Modo Miracle. They played a heck of a game. It was really, really fun.
All right. Well, thank you so much, and phenomenal games, and just once again, congratulations on your 2-0 victory. You'll be taking 2 points. Do you know offhand where that kind of puts you in the standings by chance?
Well, I know they've all played one more game than us because we had a bye week last week. So, however, we are the first team to 2-0 Modo Miracle. So I think that, says a lot.
Hey, there you go. Well, congratulations once again on your win, and thank you so much for the interview. You have a phenomenal night, and cheers.
Thank you. Cheers. Thank you very much. Have a good night.
All right, and with that, hey, Airy thank you so much for the follow, and Zadhots, thank you so much for the bits during the stream. But on that note, that is going to